Hi, welcome to another video. I have a guest again.
Hello, I'm back for my second yearly appearance.
This is my boyfriend Casey. We've been dating for almost 7 years.
Almost.
So for the month of February, he picks my TBR because that is our anniversary month. And this year we're doing it a little different. I have 4 rules / prompts for the 4 books you're picking. And I'm going to only tell you them one at a time.
Oh, okay.
So do you want the option to go back and change a book you've already picked once you hear the next prompt?
I think so, yeah. I think so. I think it's maybe a little more fun if I don't, but I feel like in the name of picking books that you'll actually like and read, we should give ourselves a little flexibility.
Okay, so your only book you cannot pick is Dance the Dragons.
Okay,
that's not getting read.
It's a rule every year, I feel like.
I will eventually read it, just not in the month of February. So, first prompt is pick 1 fiction book from my shelves.
Okay.
So, that's a lot to choose from. It's this whole bookcase, this whole cart.
I want to clarify, by fiction, do you...
Oh, I just mean it's fake. Nonfiction.
Because
so it can be any genre of fiction.
Just earlier this week, she was talking about, you were like, oh, technically all the books that I read this year are fiction. And I was like, yeah, you don't really read nonfiction unless it's memoirs. And she was like, no, but I mean fiction, the genre, not the fiction, the subgenre, not the...
Yes,
yeah.
I'm sorry. Yes, fiction as in not nonfiction. Okay. So that's this whole shelf, this whole cart, that whole stack, these, and then these right here. So any fiction book of any genre, any subgenre, that's not Dance of Dragons.
Okay. I feel like we should have ended on this one because this is the most open one.
No, but I don't know. I want to start with this one.
Alright.
Never mind. That's spoiling.
I'm going to come over to your side here so that I can actually look at...
Now, I don't want to lead you in any direction.
But you're going to lead me in a direction?
But this cart is stuff I've been wanting to read. And that shelf is all stuff I got last year that I haven't read.
Okay, well, you just read this one.
Yes, I did read that. I read it as an audiobook and just haven't moved it.
Okay.
So yeah, you're correct. I did read that. I should probably just get that out of there. Because that's been read. Good job paying attention.
Yeah, look at me go.
I don't know where to put this. We'll just put it on one piece for now. That is the Caduce pile right there.
Yeah. I guess we can start by looking at this shelf. Excuse my old man back. Oh, okay. Well, I can't pick this one because that's Dance of Dragons.
Correct.
Ooh, do I? Huh. So I'm thinking maybe I'll go with Golden Sun. Did I choose Golden Sun last time you didn't read it?
The year before.
The year before you didn't read it?
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm repeating myself if I pick that, but also you are the one who wanted us to start that series, and that was 2 years ago.
Did you do that to my art hand?
Oh yeah, I did that while you were standing. I did that.
I didn't see him do it.
I literally did it while she was standing here 2 minutes before we started filming the video. What did you think I was doing?
I was not paying attention. Please continue what your thought process was.
Sorry, I was roasting you for not reading the book in the series.
It's because I wasn't a big fan of the first one, so it's hard to pick up a second one when you didn't really like the first one.
When we did so many times we're like, oh, we should buddy read a series together. We should find a series. And I think the 2 that we've tried to start were the Dark Tower series and then the Red Rising series. The Dark Tower series, we both read the first one, right? And then I just think that we weren't...
You got the ending spoiled for you, so you didn't really want to continue.
That's right, yeah.
I bought several of the books.
Yeah.
And we just haven't continued them.
Because the thing with that series is that the first book got published again and they made slight changes to it.
Because when he continued the series, he made stuff no longer canon. So he had to republish the first one to make it canon again.
And so when you look up a synopsis of the first book, which
No, you read the foreword.
No, it's not the foreword of the book.
I thought the foreword spoiled it.
No, it was... Maybe it was the foreword. I don't know.
I think it was the foreword.
It was something where it was either the foreword or the the Wikipedia entry for the book. Literally, the first thing that lists is oh, in this release they made this change, in order to foreshadow this thing that happens in the final book. And I'm like, oh, why would you make that the first sentence about the book?
See, for me, I forget spoilers so easily, so I think I got the same spoiler, and I just don't remember it.
And it's like, it's a vague enough spoiler to where like could mean multiple things, but it was enough to where I was like, oh well, that kind of gives a little bit away. I'd still be down to continue that series, but so maybe okay. So actually, I am 50-50 now between.
Well, you can also keep looking. I mean, that's all you've looked at.
No, I'm just talking through my process as I'm going through. That way, the video isn't like 20 minutes of me just going.
He literally rubs his chin when he thinks. It's the funniest thing to watch back.
What I feel like that's something that I probably started doing. I have a lot of things where, and I think this happens to a lot of people, where I start doing something as a bit. Yeah, like not even necessarily like ironic. I guess ironically, but like as just a bit, and then I just actually do it. Like I go like when I'm thinking, and it looks really stupid. Okay, so I'm thinking maybe Golden Sun. I'm thinking maybe the next book in the Dark Tower series, although I guess I should probably choose the first one again because
you want us to reread it? I mean, I have. It's been almost 7 years.
Yeah, so I don't know about you, but I would need to reread. Okay, so another pick would be possibly the next book in the Witcher series, which I would also probably need to reread because I don't even know if I could have that much of a conversation about the Witcher series because it's been.
But you have two choices because I have the next short story collection and I have book 1.
So did you only read the first short story collection? Okay, because I think you're supposed to read the first 2.
Yes, that's why I bought the second one. And then because I don't really like short story collections, you were like, oh, well, you can just go into the first book. So then I bought the first book and then I haven't read either.
Yeah, I think
I do have both of them.
But yeah, so I'd have to choose between those 2. This is hard. This is a really broad category. And I feel like I'm overthinking it. I think I'm gonna lock in on one and then come back because it's such an open category. So I can
keep in mind I may not get to all 4 books.
Yeah, exactly.
In the month anyway.
So
okay, so when I started the video, I was accidentally using his SD card. It ran out of room, so then we had to go get mine. So if the framing is different now, that's why. And I also don't know where it stopped for filming, so just pick up what you were saying about picking this.
Okay, so yeah, this is Golden Sun. It's the second book in the Red Rising series, which she wanted to start, and then I have finished the original trilogy, and she has not read the second book yet. So I'm picking this one, but also since this is the first one, is a very broad category, I might change my mind on this one depending on what gets picked for the rest of them.
Okay.
So that's my first pick, but honestly, it feels kind of like a placeholder for now.
Okay, so you ready for the second prompt? The second prompt is any nonfiction book I own, which is that category down there.
Oh, just this one little.
I don't have very many nonfiction.
No, that wasn't supposed to be a roast. I was just. Wait, I forget. Did you ever actually read the Matthew Perry?
No, that's why it's there.
Okay, I might just choose.
Every year I wait for you to pick that one, and you don't.
Okay. Okay. All right. I think this might maybe not good for the content side, where this is a pretty.
I also have been delaying.
Pick, but what is the?
I also have been delaying reading it because I think it'll make me sad.
Oh, they got a little stamp on the. Yeah. Okay. This is a pretty simple one, so we'll go with Matthew Perry.
Okay. Yeah. You ready for the next prompt?
Okay.
The next prompt is any physical book on your shelf.
On my shelf. Oh, so we have to go somewhere else. Okay, so the framing is going to change again. So that's that was really bad time. If the SD card had lasted like 3 more minutes, that's really funny.
Okay, so you're going to have to excuse the mess because he's in the process of moving all his stuff around.
Yeah,
but here are some of his books.
See, the problem is a lot like this whole shelf is just like series that I read when I was in middle school, and none of this is organized right now because I just put it on the shelf to get it out of the way. So I honestly don't see anything already up here. I don't think there's anything that I got this decade on this shelf that I have also read. So I don't think there's going to be anything on these two shelves. They're going to be in my room upstairs, which is an actual dumpster fire right now. So we might have to do a little bit of a cut, and I'll bring like a small stack of books to parse through. Okay, sorry. I'm trying not to do too much thinking while I'm over here, but I am just trying to grab stuff. Okay. No, that's too political. Let's see these. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm gonna grab.
You're literally about to step on a pile of books.
Are you recording me right now? Okay, so I sort of covered a bit of like a spectrum of books that I think are. So it's a lot. Well, I'm realizing now it's a lot of sci-fi.
Sci-fi? You really?
Who this guy? There's actually 4 of them are sci-fi. I mean, yeah, I guess Neuromancer is sci-fi, but it's like cyberpunk, which is, I guess, definitely a sci-fi, but it feels different. So we've got some sci-fi books, we've got a fantasy novel, and then we've got not really that political, but somewhat political nonfiction. But I think you would like this book. So we've got Leviathan Wakes, which is the first book in the Expanse series. We've got Neuromancer, which is one of the like foundational books for the genre of cyberpunk as a whole, which I'm a big fan of. We've got the first book in the Thrawn series, which is a Star Wars novel series, which actually I'm behind on. I've only read the first book and then like a couple of chapters of the second book, but I remember liking it. And then this is just a standalone sci-fi horror novel that I picked up because I was playing the remake of Dead Space, which is a sci-fi horror video game, and this book seems like it had similar vibes, which it kind of did. But I remember enjoying it. But this one I put in here because it's not part of any sort of series or anything, so that's why I'm sort of considering that one is. So these are the 6 that I have. This is Eye of the World, which is the first book in the Wheel of Time series, which is like it's like a really popular.
I didn't know you had any physical copies of that series.
And it's the only one that I have physical. Well, because I got this before I started the audiobooks, and I just couldn't get to the physical one the first couple of times I tried. But I listened to all the audiobooks, which there are like 16 of, I think, 15 or 16, and they're all like 25 to 40 hours long. I spent an entire year where the only audiobooks that I listened to were The Wheel of Time. And then King Leopold's Ghost is about Belgian colonialism. It's been a while since I've read it, so I need to do a reread myself. But I don't know, I think you would find it interesting, although also very depressing. I also want to extend 2 offers because I don't technically have them physically, but there are 2 books that I have been talking about wanting to get physical copies of for like the last year, and I just haven't yet because my room is such a mess. But if you would count it, because these are things that I was going to put on my shelf anyways, but either the first book in the First Law series or the first book in the new series by Joe Abercrombie, The Devils.
No, you have to pick something that's on your shelf right now. No, it has to be on your shelf
I almost got a copy of The Devils last time we were at Barnes & Noble, and I should have. Man.
Time's ticking.
Here's the thing, is that I'm worried you won't get through Leviathan Wakes, but it is my favorite of all of the novels in that stack. So what I'm thinking is, I think these are going to go to the side. I think I do want you to read something sci-fi.
Okay.
And it's between these 2 right here, which what's really funny is that when you look at these two, you would think, right, that this would be like the lighter, easier one to just
I remember
breeze
you
through.
talking about it.
Yeah,
it's
but
not.
the difference is that this book was written almost as like part of the establishing of that genre, whereas this is a book that was written in like the early 2000s, maybe even late 2000s. So I think you'll actually have a much easier time getting through Leviathan Wakes. But also this is more, there are technically sequels to this, but they're not like direct sequels of the same characters. They're just sort of all in the same universe. So I'm sort of 50-50. I don't know, do you have any input on either of those?
I feel like from what you said about this one, I do think I'll have a hard time getting through it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you would. There's also,
it's shorter.
There's a lot of the characters speak in dialect, and it's written in dialect.
Oh, I hate reading dialect.
And it's worse than that. It's not even written just in dialect. It's written in like future, well, actually, I just realized both of those books do that. They both have like future space lingo that's like derived from a bunch of other dialects that characters speak. It's way easier to understand in Leviathan Wakes. In Leviathan Wakes, it's introduced more slowly, and as it goes on, it's like a lot of the dialect that they use, they repeat a lot. So by the like third or fourth time you encounter it, you sort of get, even if you don't know exactly what it means, you definitely get the feeling of what it's supposed to mean. I don't know. I think I might do Leviathan Wakes, and I think maybe I'll listen to the audiobook of Leviathan Wakes this month, because I haven't listened to the audiobooks for those. I've only read the physical books. Yeah, I feel like I spent a lot of time on this one. Sorry, I was excited about this one. Yeah, I think we're gonna go with Leviathan Wakes, which is only, I mean, when you think about it, it's only
like 500.
It's only
600?
5,500.
5,500.
5,500. Oh, that's kind of. Do you not like that?
What did you do to your pages?
It probably got a little wet.
Okay, put it in.
See, that's the difference between me and her. You're supposed to have fun with them, you know?
Okay, book 3 picked.
3 or 4. Wow. The sci-fi heavy so far. All right. Did I go sci-fi heavy last year, or was it fantasy heavy last year?
Sci-fi.
What was
it? Was a combination.
Okay. So we're going all sci-fi this year. Well, she didn't, I don't think, read any of the sci-fi that No, that was,
last year I read the Mistborn book. Oh no, it was more fantasy heavy than sci-fi.
Mm-hmm.
The Mistborn book, The Golden Compass, and Artemis. I don't remember what the 4th one you picked was because I didn't read it. But 2 of the 3 were fantasy, and then the other one was sci-fi.
All right, so what's the 4th prompt?
Okay, so now are you ready for the 4th and final prompt?
Okay.
Any book from your Audible library.
Oh, okay. Oh, this is hard. Okay, so I think it's 100%. It has to be something by Joe Abercrombie.
Okay.
Which is either the first book in the First Law series or the first book, The Devils. Here's the thing: is everything in the First Law I think is better than The Devils.
Okay.
I think that maybe you could argue maybe some of the side novels for the First Law series aren't as good as The Devils. Maybe I could see, but I think largely, like, I like The Devils, but I think people pretty, not unanimously, but it's a pretty common opinion that The Devils definitely feel like it was written in a way that it would be easier to adapt to some sort of other media. It felt like the way it was written, it felt like it was written to be made into a movie a little bit. Not to say I didn't like it, I still really liked it, but I think it was a little bit weaker than some of his other work. That being said, I think it is more accessible than the First Law series, but also, if you end up really liking the First Law series, there is more to read. Whereas if you end up liking The Devils, I guess you could go back and then read the First Law from there, but yeah, I think it has to be The Blade itself. The Blade itself. This is the first book in the First Law series. I think I'm locking in on that one.
All right. So do you want to go back and change anything that you've picked? Yes,
I am going to do something that I did because I think our first year of doing this was more successful than the second year of doing this, and what I did the first year is that I gave you a sort of a pressure valve pick. Which I feel like this kind of counts as that.
Yeah.
But not as much.
Because,
this
that's
is still...
a break from sci-fi. It's going to be emotional.
Yeah.
So it's like...
What we're going to do is we're going to take Golden Sun out here because that's a lot of... Also, that would mean that everything that I assigned you is a series, which I don't think is fair. And so we're going to go... I'm still going to try and pick something that, like, isn't completely out of the realm. You know what I mean? That's sort of... Okay, so my first thought was, I don't think you ever read the illustrated edition of the Hunger Games that I got you.
No, I haven't.
So that's on my list because that's something that, A, you would get through pretty fast.
Yeah.
I'm not locking in on that, so don't get too excited.
I would have never guessed you would pick that.
But, because I want to pick something, like, that I know is not going to be, like... So you have something that you can read that you aren't ever going to feel like you're forcing yourself to read. And I'm not going to do the thing that I did the last couple of times, or the last time, where I just pick a random romance novel, because every time I pick a random romance novel, you hate it.
Okay, but to be fair, so it was 2 years ago, and it was one I had bought, but yeah, it ended up being my least favorite of the ones I read. Yeah. I still liked it.
Let's see.
You remember which shelves you're picking from?
Yeah, it's
most of them.
Any fiction book, yeah. So anything except for that corner, pretty much, or this stack.
And these are already read.
Okay.
So it's those, these.
Okay, so first thought is the Hunger Games Illustrated Edition. Second is the Cassandra Clare book you haven't read yet.
The first one is right here. That's the second one.
Oh, sorry.
Same thought. We're on the same page.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, third would be Out of the Woods.
Okay.
I forget. Was it that you didn't like the second book that you read as much?
Yes, the first one I really, really loved. That was Out on a Limb. The second one I read was Next of Kin, which I didn't like as much. So this would be like me being like, do I like this author or was Out on the Limb?
Yeah. So that's a maybe pick, but also that could be a thing where if it's like, oh, you don't like that author as much as you thought, then it would be another.
But I won't know until I read it. That's why I bought another one.
Yeah, exactly.
That was her new release in 2025, I think.
Okay. So, do you have any input on those three options, which are the Cassandra Clare, the Illustrated Hunger Games, and Out of the Woods? Do you have any input?
My only input is that that's short, and it would be easier to fit in with, like, a longer book. Yeah. Versus the Cassandra Clare book is kind of long.
It's pretty meaty, yeah.
And then the Hunger Games Illustrated wouldn't take me much to get through it, I guess. Yeah. But
yeah. Okay, I think we'll go with Out of the Woods.
Okay.
We'll go with Out of the Woods. Okay. We'll put that right there.
All right, so those are your 4 picks.
Yes.
So a little bit about how this is going to go. I'm going to do it the same way as previous years, which is I'm going to read the books in the month of February, but I'm not going to tell him my thoughts while I'm reading them. So at the end of the month, he has to guess my ratings and reviews based off what he thinks I would like about it. And that's all he can really go off of, aside from, unless he sees like my face while I'm reading it.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And
which is actually really hard for both of us for the month of February. Because the entire time she just wants to tell me about the stuff that she's reading, and I'm like, well, like, and I want to hear what her thoughts are about the book, so it's hard every time.
All right, so final picks from my fiction shelves. He picked Out of the Woods by Hannah Bonham Young. From my nonfiction shelves, he picked Matthew Perry's memoir. Somehow my hair has ended up inside of this book.
Oh, at least you dropped the hardcover.
From his shelves, he picked Leviathan Wakes, which is the first one in the Expanse series, and then from his audiobook shelves, he picked the first in the First Law trilogy, which is called
The Blade Itself by
Joe Abercrombie.
Yep, Joe Abercrombie.
So that is my lineup for February, and we'll see what I think.
We'll see what you think about these two, and then whether or not you actually read the other two.
Well, that's one of the reasons I wanted to pick an audiobook.
That's true.
So it'd be
yeah,
easier
you
for
can't
me to
get through
get
the
through
audio.
them.
It is like 20
not
hours,
bad.
which is maybe 25.
All right, well, that's the video. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for him guessing my reviews. And yeah, bye.
Started recording again, but just because, just for reference, the entire time that we were filming that video, Lily was right there. Oh wait, she's back.